making videos because part of it is therapy for me, really. I like when I listen to it and I make complete good sense to myself, and I think, you know what, I'm pretty sure if there's somebody else that can listen to this, will gain some kind of perspective from it that just opens their mind up, really. And that's what I came here to do. If I came to this planet to do anything, I came here to do just that and be inspiring, in other words. It's been tough going, and I have nothing to do with that. I mean, of course, I have a lot of self-sabotaging and things that I'm working through that would prevent me from so-called being what I would expect or think that, God, this is a terrible conversation because, why not just accept life the way it is? I kind of live with as accepting, believe it or not. I just keep accepting. Even though I know when I'm getting into trouble, trying to control things that are absolutely out of my control. I can't control things, but there is a certain extent that people don't know. Really, you need to know that it's really up to you to be the example that you want to see, which includes maintaining an environment or whatever it is, piece of information or truth that you feel is vital to our well-beings. Woo, God. Minute 2. I'm making this video at the beginning of what's going to be oncoming is this transit with the squares with Sun, Mars to Saturn, which is a very disciplinary time for the human collective. I can reiterate, it has to do with travel, perhaps, because the Sagittarius rules travel, and then the ocean, something restrictive about the ocean. Look out for that, maybe in the media or the trend coming up, which states that some kind of restriction was happening concerning travel over the water. Maybe. Having said this, I'm going to post this on Wednesday, I think. I'm making it on Monday. I'm experiencing, my personal life is like come to an interesting point. I'm not sure if it's like kind of like, I know that an easier way out is to be more accepting, talk about that, and more loving. And I didn't just say, put up with the problems that you think that can be corrected by just communicating. Really, don't communicate, and you know what I mean? I mean, no, accept that that's the way it is too, that better communication is needed, and keep communicating it, just realize that work that it really takes is discipline to not insert your ego and come from your own place of pain or frustration and stuff. And the latest stuff going on with me, I am not cut out. I feel so bad because there are people who are not dealing with their conditioning, say, very, very, they're ultra sensitive, and I'm being insensitive towards their insecurity, their incapability, their learning disability, say. And the truth is I've never really ever imagined myself, I'm not really like that. I choose my battles, and if there's seems to be some bullying going on, of course I'm susceptible to being a bully. Everybody is kind of like, maybe they have, fuck, I'm backing myself into a corner right now. I am willing to look at myself, but you never expose yourself to that level of getting into all of your flaws and the mistakes you've been making, and maybe the stuff you need to pull out of. Maybe it's just karmic, and maybe you need to be loved more instead of scrutinized more, right? Right? That's hypocritical me. Never say that. See, I just say 2 negative things about myself. under the possibility of a narcissist watching this, you're doomed. They take that and run. That's the only thing that they can see. They live in a world of competition, and it's so fucked up. It's like I have such enough of that. And I am praying heavily for a life to come to me that gets me away from making these kinds of videos, but maybe something more that is as is displaying a different capability that is suitable to me or other people. Other people, that it gets more likes. How about that? See, I have a few videos on here that I made that I think they're really important. I think that people don't talk about it more, and it's really a subject matter. It's fascinating to me that there are people willing to talk about the subject matter of the difficulty between the sexes, literally too, women's sex and men's sex, and it's a subject matter that's blasted apart. And now we have these people dressing up, and who cares? It's like, do you know how to be present with each other and create a feel-good situation, or are people just fucking mixed up? And where does their feelings go? Like, at the end of the day, how do you sit with yourself? Do you ever question, like, did I really need all of that drag, or whatever is going on there? I'm sorry. To each their own, really. I'm just wondering, is everybody happy? Are we having fun yet? Because, for me, easily, I could just say, hey, I'm having a great time. Aries is just like naive like that, and everybody's like, how dare you? And it's like, what? I'm me. They'll try and clip your wings, right? Because, well, maybe I'm a bird and you're a giraffe. Have you just accepted what's going on here? I sure did, but now I see that's beside the point. Nobody's happy with themselves, and what if you did or you didn't have a choice of that? Some people say you do, and it's happening now. Well, maybe it's not all about the obvious. I'll close this up now and post it on before Christmas. How about that? It's not about the obvious. It's about doing the work to uncover something much deeper that is very much having to do with how we learn, what's important here, like what are we learning and how, The thing that I'm seeing coming out of the mind, really, it's really just out of a culture that is blind to the nature of the mind. I'll begin to try to refine and start exposing in articulations. It's really difficult to talk about it, but we can start talking about it, and we will. Because this is extremely important. And like poking around at an organic way of curing the human organism away from the dangers, like, say, the trap that is the mind, and staying on the course of looking at it like, I'm not an advocate for the propaganda about climate change, but there's definitely a people change, and the environment and what is indeed going on with extinction of species of plants and animals on a daily basis, and the alarm going off, which only like the more sensitive people can feel it. It's really hard to live here. It's due to the human ecology, the state that they have been rendered in to some experiment. Somebody has an idea from one generation to the next. Really, it could take only 120 years that you have completely taken over an entire human population because you have a brilliant idea and enough money and clout and know-how and really wherewithal and all of the knowledge. And what if there is like this massive think tank kind of, more like, what's the language to use, and I'll get better, believe me, just an organization of a few people that stay in this power. It's power. And they are the ones who press the button on the mint machines to print the money or give us our ideas as to what we need to do next about money and what is money looking like in 10 years or even 5 years. Comment section down below. Yes, I'm drunk, but it's not what you think, ever.